Tell us a bit about yourself.
A bit about myself. So I'm studying at Moore Theological College at the moment, working with Anglican Church at Brighton Les Sands and Rockdale, and pretty keen after I finish college to look at planting a church somewhere in the Diocese of Sydney.
Now, I understand that you went through the assessment process recently. What was that like for you?
What was it like? It wasn't too bad. So I'd already done the assessment process to be an ordination candidate, so I've sort of jumped through a couple of hoops before.
Now, a lot of people are a little daunted by the amount of forms or the accounts they have to give of themselves. Did you find it fairly extensive?
Yeah, it was pretty extensive. So I think I got the paperwork just around exam time, and it probably took me about 20 hours, to be honest, to fill it all in. But I think it was worthwhile.
Well, when you went in, there's obviously a series of interviews associated with it.
Yep.
Can you take us through how that felt for you and maybe what you felt like you got out of it?
Yeah. So what it felt like me, going in, it was interesting because I'd had about 5 hours sleep and a drive to Canberra beforehand, but it was okay. So I was there with Alan Cathy Stewart and Tim Baldwin from the Central Coast, and they were happy to push me on a few things that came up in the assessment process, and that was worthwhile. I guess having the wisdom of people who've gone before me to just prod on places where I might be a bit weak and might need to improve my game. So it's more about them trying to look after me than it is about jumping through hoops for the sake of bureaucracy.
So personally, what do you think was the thing you maybe gained the most out of the process?
So I've come through a few different churches in the last few years, and some of my relationships are sort of a bit fractured. And one of the things that they pushed me on was making sure that I've got a really good support network going forward, and thinking about how to cultivate friendships so that I last in ministry.
So if we could pray for you, something as you sort of like go out into this noisy city of ours and try and plant somewhere, what can we pray for?
Well, the first thing is wisdom about knowing where. I'm not at that point in the process yet, so you can get assessed at different stages. I haven't decided where, so you can pray for that. And also, along the lines of what I just mentioned, pray that God will put people in my life who are going to support me and who I'm going to cultivate friendships with that'll keep me staying strong in the gospel long term.